Hello everyone, I am going to discuss the reactivity series today. Now in reactivity series we arrange all the metals together in their actually according to their reactivity. Now you know that different metals have different reactivities. Now say for example if I take group 1 metals, right, they react violently with water and acid and also with air. But some transition metals they react slowly. They are much more actually sometimes they are slower than group 1 metals, right? So reactivity series is the arrangement of these metals according to their reactivity. So in the reactivity series you should know how these metals react differently, like with water, with oxygen and with acids. Now, first of all, we'll consider the arrangement of these elements or metals. Now, this is the order of reactivity series. Hope you can see that potassium, that is more reactive metal, potassium, then sodium, then calcium, magnesium, aluminium, carbon, zinc. We actually included carbon over there because when we extract the metal, right? So sometimes we use carbon as a reducing agent. So that means it says that carbon can displace those metals. That means those metals actually less reactive than carbon. So we can include carbon, they are in the reactivity series also, right? Then carbon, then zinc, iron, tin, lead, then hydrogen also there. There's a reason for including hydrogen here, I'll tell you later on, right? Then copper, mercury, silver and gold, right? And there's an easy method to memorize the reactivity series also. So we can say pop stars can make all carbon zombies, okay, zombies in town lose his cool MSG. Lose his cool MSG. Again, I'll tell pop stars can make all carbon zombies in town lose his cool MSG. Right. So this is the order of reactivity. That means the bottom ones are less reactive and top ones are more reactive. Now we have to know how do they react, basically with oxygen, water and acids, right? Now if I think about oxygen, reaction with oxygen, most of these metals can make oxide with oxygen by reacting with oxygen. There you should know how to write the balance equation. Say for example, if I take sodium, it reacts with oxygen to form what? Sodium oxide. To balance it, I have to put 2 oxygen here. So altogether 4 sodium. So I have to put 4 here. Like that. Say for example, another one magnesium. Magnesium with oxygen, it forms what? MgO. So to balance this, I can put 2 here and 2 here. Right? Say for example, if it is aluminium, you all know that aluminium valence is 3. So formula is what? Al2O3. Right? So to balance 3 oxygen, 2 oxygen. So both of these oxygen will make it into 6. So altogether become 4 aluminium. Like that. So always these metals tend to react with oxygen and they form oxide. But remember, reactivity decreases down the group. That means bottom ones, they react actually less violently, or they are not much reactive, right? Like that. Okay. Next one with water, right? Now first 3 metals, they are more reactive. First 3 metals can give hydroxide and hydrogen gas, right? I think you remember once you put piece of sodium there in water, it tend to float on the surface and fissing can be observed, right? So that means it forms hydroxide solution. So say for example, I can write that equation. So K plus H2O gives what? KOH and H2, right? Hydroxide, alkaline solution and hydrogen. So to balance it, I can put 2 here like this. Now it is balanced. If I take sodium, we can do the same thing. Sodium with H2O, it gives what? NaOH, alkaline solution and hydrogen. To balance it, you can put again 2 everywhere except that one, right? The last one, calcium. calcium B1 reacts somewhat vigorously with water. So it forms calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice, because calcium valence is 2, right? With hydrogen. So to balance it, I can put 2 over there. First three metals, they produce hydroxide and hydrogen gas, right? Then after that, magnesium reacts differently with water. So magnesium can react both cold water, that means H2O liquid, and also magnesium can react with hot water, that is what we call H2O gas, that is steam. When magnesium reacts with cold water, it gives magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. Magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. When it reacts with hot water, it gives magnesium oxide and hydrogen. Magnesium oxide and hydrogen. This is very important. Magnesium reacts differently with hot water and cold water. With hot water it gives oxide, with cold water it gives hydroxide. Right? Then other one is aluminium. Aluminium does not react with cold water, but it reacts with hot water only. So it gives what? Aluminium oxide, Al2O3 and hydrogen gas. Al2O3 and hydrogen gas. So to balance this, I can put 3 oxygen here. So hydrogen becomes 6, so 3 here. Then aluminium becomes 2. So this is the reaction between water. Right. Finally, you should know how these metals react with acids. Right. You know that most of the metals, except few, most of the metals can react with acids faster. So they can use what? Hydrogen gas and salt is produced. Say for example, actually if I take piece of sodium, but we won't put, we won't do this experiment, children. But remember, we can use very diluted HCl. Sodium reacts vigorously with water. So that means if you put acid, definitely it reacts violently. So it may be like explosive reaction, right? So, but theoretically we can say that, children, sodium reacts with this thing and HCl and hydrogen gas is given out, right? So to balance it, I have to put 2 here, 2 hydrogen. So chlorine become 2, so sodium become 2. Now you should know what's the reason for this thing. Now look at the position in the periodic table, the reactivity series, right? Sodium is somewhere over here. Hydrogen is below. So what do you think about reactivity of sodium compared to hydrogen? Sodium is more reactive than hydrogen. So in that case, what happens, children? Sodium can displace hydrogen from its solution. That's why, children, Na will be added with Cl and hydrogen is what? Displaced. Hydrogen is displaced. So this type of reaction we call, children, single displacement reaction. Right? Say for example, the other way around, if you put calcium with HCl, what happened? It gives CaCl2 and H2. So to balance, I can put 2 here. Because calcium is more reactive than hydrogen, so calcium can displace hydrogen from its solution. Right? Now what do you think about this thing? Copper with HCl. What do you think about position of copper and hydrogen? Now copper is here, children, hydrogen is here. That means copper is less reactive than hydrogen. So this reaction won't take place, children, because copper is less reactive than hydrogen. So copper can't displace hydrogen from its solution. But it can give different product, like if it is reacting with nitric acid, can give some other product. But hydrogen won't produce because copper is less reactive than hydrogen. So it's a bit like better to memorize it, children. Remember the clue, right? The metals below hydrogen in the reactivity series, they do not give hydrogen with acids because they can't displace hydrogen from their solution. That's all about reactivity series reactions. Okay, right.